If you are planning on booking or have already booked a Princess cruise, this video could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars by knowing where you can save money and where they make their extra cash once you are on board. Even experienced cruisers may pick up a tip or two. My name's Andrew, and welcome to Tidal Horizons. I love sailing with Princess, but I also love saving my money, so I've put together 16 tips and tricks that might work for you. We're going to cover everything Princess on this channel, so make sure you like and subscribe. Let's start with what you can do before you even book your cruise to save the maximum amount possible. The biggest pre-cruise tip I can give you is to find a reputable and reliable travel agent who actually cruises with Princess and ask them 3 very important questions. When are your best cruise sales during the year? They should know the promotion schedule and when Princess or their agency is offering specials that might include discounts, onboard credits, low deposit, or free 3rd and 4th passengers. They may offer other amenities like Princess Plus or upgrades to Princess Premium. Are they willing to work with you to referry your booking if a better sale comes along? A great agent won't hesitate to say yes and should always take a minute to make sure you're getting the most for your money. This can save you hundreds of dollars. Does their agency take out group space on desirable sailings so they get better pricing or amenities than booking direct? This often means that the agency might have staterooms available when the cruise appears to be sold out on the cruise line's website. Princess doesn't compete with travel agents on price, but you should be wary about using large call center-based agencies where people behind the phones are closer to telemarketers than travel consultants. Talk to a cruise specialist. Make sure they are active cruisers and know what they're talking about. Over the past couple of years, Princess has joined other cruise lines in the practice of giving you the option to have a non-refundable cruise deposit in exchange for a slightly lower fare. Taking the non-refundable deposit could be especially smart if you're absolutely certain you're going to be on the cruise or if the final payment date is close. It's also a great idea if you're planning on taking insurance that will cover everything if you have to cancel. Fare differences of $100 to a couple $100 are possible, but be sure you really understand what you might be losing if you have to cancel. Princess has offered cruises including air for many years, but it's not always the best deal available, especially for round-trip cruises. However, if your trip involves starting and finishing at different ports, it can save you time and money by allowing flexible, multi-city bookings at better pricing than most airlines publicly publish. This is very important when you are booking international flights where one-way flights are penalized heavily. Princess also tends to give you flexible tickets that will allow rebooking for changes without penalties for the same cost as airlines charge for restricted tickets. Finally, they offer late arrival protection to cover you if your flight is late arriving at the departure port or if the ship encounters delays and causes you to miss your flight home. Obviously, easy air isn't for everyone, but I've seen clients take a significant savings over booking with airlines directly. We've covered the Princess Plus and Princess Premium packages extensively on this channel before, and needless to say, they fit our needs extremely well. Watch out for special offers that might add these packages for free or at a reduced price. Even at the regular prices, the math often adds up for most people when you take into account they will include your drinks, stateroom gratuities, and Wi-Fi in the Princess Plus package, and even more in the Premium. I have found that Princess's a la carte prices for drinks has increased significantly over the past few years, so where you might have paid $8 for a glass of wine before, it will be $11, $12, or more now. So if you haven't sailed in a while, factor this into your math. You'll want to add Princess Plus or Princess Premium to your booking before you sail. It may cost more to add onboard. When you book your trip, you might be offered a guarantee cabin. This is often an appealing choice for passengers to shave some money off their fare. It's not what I would recommend because in these days of bidding for upgrades, you are rarely going to get upgraded from an inside guarantee cabin to a balcony or mini suite. You'll be the last one on the list once they move the upgrade paying passengers up. Finally, there have been instances where guarantee cabins don't become available and you'll end up with a refund and some kind of compensation. It's rare, but it does happen. Now, let's get on board the ship and have a look at what you can do to save some money. We're going to start with the Spa and Spa Services. This is a multi-part section because there's lots of ways to save here. First is to avoid the spa completely. Ship spa services are very expensive, especially when you add in the gratuity and the hard sell at the end of the treatment for additional products and services. If it's not going to completely make or break your vacation, just skip it completely. If it's unavoidable and you're really looking forward to it, make sure you check in with the spa when you get on board and take advantage of the first day promotions they're running. You can usually get a discount on an embarkation day massage or take advantage of their 10, 20, or 30% discount on multiple treatments. Don't forget to enter the raffle and attend the drawing. You might win free services or money off your service. The thermal suites, sometimes listed as the Enclave, are also one of those hit and miss things for me. On our recent Sun Princess voyage, we purchased the pass at $149 per person for 7 days, just to be able to try it out. We found that with our schedule, we were only able to attend 4 times, and we really forced that last time. It wasn't a great value for us on a port-intensive cruise. Perhaps on something with the cold weather or lots of sea days, it would be worth it for us. There may also be day passes or one-time passes available. If you're unsure, I would avoid the hard sell on the suite when you tour the spa. The bottom line is that the spa has some wiggle room on pricing, so if you book in advance, be sure to ask for the discounts and make sure you check your statement to ensure they are applied correctly. Princess has caused some confusion recently with the use of the word sanctuary. Traditionally, it's been an adult-only area on most ships where for $99 per person per day, you're able to have a quiet area with a cabana and service. This will be the case on most ships going forward, but now Princess has also introduced the Sanctuary Collection on Sun Princess and Star Princess. This is their ship-within-a-ship concept that we'll cover in more detail in a separate video. The traditional sanctuary is loved by some passengers, but many I've talked to don't see the value unless the ship is very busy. It's worth finding and touring to see what you think. Let's step off the ship for a moment and look at shore excursions. Princess offers a number of shore excursions, and while I find that Princess's prices are more reasonable than most cruise lines, they seem to have increased in price dramatically over the past year. Booking with a ship has the advantage of a guarantee that the ship will wait for you to return provided you stick with your tour. Meeting a ship's tour is also generally seamless, either meeting in a public space on board and being walked out to transportation, or meeting on shore. Use your onboard credit for Princess excursions too. There are a number of very good independent tour companies who curate the best local companies in a port and will arrange everything for you. The best companies will offer a return-to-ship guarantee, and the cost is generally lower than booking with the ship. Independent arrangements may also have a lower number of guests participating and may take you to places that won't accommodate larger tour groups. You should find significant savings, but be sure to take the risks into consideration. I don't recommend taking unlicensed or taxi tours unless you have lots of time to spare. You run the risk of missing the ship if something breaks down, and personal security should also be taken into account. For me personally, I've had several good taxi tours over the years, but it's not my first choice. This tip may be fading into obscurity. If you've been sailing with Princess for a long time, you're probably like me and have 100 Princess Hurricane drink of the day glasses in a cupboard somewhere. They just collect dust and are rarely used. Save your money. Take a picture of that tasty beverage instead. On my recent cruises, this wasn't something I noticed anymore, so it's possible to treasure what you have and say goodbye to this tip. There are a number of specialty restaurants and pop-up restaurants on board Princess ships. Some of these have a long history of high-quality food, such as Sabatini's and Crown Grill. On board the Sun Princess and the Star Princess, the cruise line has invested heavily in specialty restaurants to encourage you to spend more and not eat the included food. If you aren't a foodie, consider saving your money because $45 per person plus an 18% gratuity, this quickly adds up. The same goes for the casual restaurants like Alfredo's Pizzeria. You'll be paying an extra $15 to eat the similar pizza to what is served elsewhere on the ship. Take advantage of the non-buffet options like the dining rooms and around the pool decks when you can. Don't forget that Princess Plus includes 2 casual dining meals per person And Princess Premium is unlimited casual meals and 2 specialty dining meals, so make sure you use these to get your money's worth. This is one where I always contradict myself because I love going to wine tastings and attending special dinners like the chef's table. Again, if you aren't a foodie or a wine lover, these events may not hold a lot of value for you, and you may be asked by your waiter if you want to attend. Check out our review of Spellbound on board Sun Princess and see what you think of this special dining event. These dining events usually charge $100 to $150 per person, so choose wisely. If you're a wine lover, I would highly recommend skipping the grapevine wine tasting and ask one of your friendly sommeliers about other events on the ship, such as the winemaker's dinner or international wine tasting. You may find region-specific events that are more your style. You can always ask to see the tasting list in advance and ensure that they're either bringing something new to you or covering a region or style of wine that you love. The photography on most ships is another area where things are changing rapidly. Where once there were lineups for photos, often now the photographers are asking if you want your photo taken. Much of this has to do with the decline in what we call formal night. People don't feel inclined to capture that not-so-special look. The adoption of digital photography and phones that take amazing pictures has also certainly changed people's behavior. The same goes for professional portraits that you can sit for in the photography studio or around the ship. If it's a special occasion, go for it, but you're probably going to pay double compared to a local photographer in your town. The photo package that is part of Princess Premium may be of some value to you, but I wouldn't make it a major factor when deciding between Plus and Premier. I also wouldn't recommend paying for photo packages before you cruise. As the saying goes, time is money, and this tip is more about time than money. Art auctions are another huge business on board cruise ships these days. I'm guilty as charged. I've purchased art on board a ship and I have no regrets because I still love the paintings we've purchased. But the art auctions can go on for a long time, and it's really hard to pull yourself away. You may only have a couple of sea days, so really consider if it's worth hanging around for the whole auction just to win a small prize or print. I'm not going to get into the value of the art you purchase on board because value is in the eye of the beholder, and lots of onshore art may not be worth what people are willing to pay. Unless you're really looking to collect a particular artist, I would avoid wasting your time attending auctions. It goes without saying that you need to check your onboard folio before disembarking, but really you should be doing this daily. The descriptions and itemization isn't always clear, so if you have questions, use the crew chat feature in the Princess app or go to guest services to inquire. On our last cruise, we were double charged for spa services we didn't receive proper discounts. This was easily rectified by the spa desk. This last tip is probably the most controversial in this list, but we don't mind. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video for more cruise content. Bingo! It's a massive moneymaker for the casino and for the ship, and it's not a very good bet. Not only are the payouts tiny compared to what they're collecting, but they have increasingly played fewer or less complicated games to get to their snowball jackpot quicker. Just looking around the room at the sheer number of players and knowing what they've paid, Princess really should be ashamed of themselves for taking this very traditional shipboard game and making it one of the worst bets you can make. Take your $79 and plunk it on red or black on a roulette wheel. You'll have a far better chance of doubling your money. Cunard does a far better job with their bingo games on board Queen Mary 2. It's more about the tradition than gambling. Finally, this video isn't about telling you not to waste your money. It just explains how the cruise line plans to squeeze you a little bit more. The more you know, the better. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any money-saving tips, please share them in the comments. I try to put out a new princess-related video each week, so like this video and subscribe for more.